Hi everyone, welcome back to another video and Happy New Year! I hope you all are having a nice beginning to this year and you're taking care of yourselves and easing into the new year, if that is what you need, because it's definitely what I needed at the beginning of this year. As some of you might remember from the last studio vlog that I posted last year, the end of last year was a bit intense. I ended up actually burning out a little bit, so I took the holiday period very seriously to try and relax and rest and really just build up my battery level back up to a reasonable amount so that I could start the new year off with a little bit more energy and a little bit more motivation for my shop and for my business. Yeah, and it kind of worked, which is awesome. I even started the year really slowly. I would usually, start on the 2nd of January, like hit the ground running and start working. But this year, that didn't feel right for me. And it worked a lot better this year. So I actually feel a lot more motivated, a lot more rested, and I am ready to do some really cool things this year with my small business and show you guys as well and bring you along. And of course, if you guys know me, I am a planner obsessed, list making freak who loves a mood board. So what I've decided to do this year for the first time is to actually conceptualize a business plan for my small business. It might seem weird to you that I have never done that considering the type of person I am, but I usually tend to just do this kind of planning in my bullet journal and sort of just write out things that I sort of want to do, things I've been wanting to do, but I've never actually made them into a concrete plan or even separated these plans and ideas into different stages or parts of the year. I kind of usually just wing it. But I want this year to be really structured because I feel like that'll really help me reach certain goals throughout the year and not feel so rushed as well in terms of, designing and making collections and then launching them so that I feel less stressed. So I thought that I would show you my process of setting up a business plan for my small business and how I did that, what I'm actually going to be putting on it, and etc, etc. So let's get into it. So as you can see, I am going to be using Milanote for a lot of the planning for this year. I just really, really love their interface. I actually did a collaborated sponsorship with them last year, and I just became a really big fan of their whole interface and just their whole platform. So I'm going to be using them for this year. So I took a lot of inspiration from a video that I watched from Catnip Studios. She always has really, really amazing videos in terms of like the behind the scenes of running a small business. And she has a lot of really inspiring content regarding planning and organizing her life and business in this sort of way. So I watched a bunch of her videos from the previous years and took a lot of that on board into my plan for this year. So I created a board for this year, 2025. And in this board, I'm going to be creating a bunch of these little sections. So one of them is going to be goals for my online shop and specific products that I want to do, specific, types of merch, anything of that sort. Then I've got another section that's for marketing and social media goals, because I also do content creation as well as everything else. And that has definitely in the previous years been an absolute hectic winging of a time for me. I've never actually done a proper sort of plan for my social media. And then as you can see, I did another one below those two that is just any bonus goals that I have for this year, anything that, if I have time to get around to it, or if I manage to sort of incorporate some of those goals in with the others, that is something that I want to do as well. But they're not set in stone. And then for each one of these, I added a little tick box to-do list into each one of them. So as you can see, the types of goals that I'm putting into my product and shop goals are things like how many collections and theme drops I want to aim to do this year, and what kind of products I want to do more of this year, or what kind of new products I want to do this year. 2026 calendar, because I didn't do a calendar for this year, 2025, and a lot of you were really upset about that. So I'm definitely going to be doing a calendar for next year. Then for my marketing and social media goals, I have things of the sorts of wanting to engage more with my community and doing more live streams, posting more often to YouTube, and things that are more to do with you guys and showing you behind the scenes of my small business. And another goal that I added into this section was to use more hand-drawn elements and doodles in social media content, because I do that from time to time and I always really love the look of my content and stuff when it has like doodles drawn by myself or like text written out by myself. And it just really sets them apart from interface text fonts that are on apps and stuff. And it just makes everything look a little bit more scrapbooky. So I definitely want to bring that more into my content this year. So then for my bonus goals, I have, you know, just general like art goals and stuff, like doing more canvas paintings and sketching more often, because I definitely let that part of my routine go last year in terms of sketching often. So I definitely want to incorporate some sort of routine for that, like sketching something silly every day before work, or at least doing like a sketchbook session every week, just to sort of bring that creativity back into my routine a little bit. And once I was happy with my general yearly goals, I wanted to then break down this year into separate seasons or quarters, I guess, to use a more businessy term. And I've never done this before, so this is going to be a very interesting experiment, seeing how I, you know, adapt to planning my year in sort of a quarterly fashion as opposed to going through it like month by month. But honestly, I think it's already being quite helpful since I've set this up. So as you can see here, I'm just creating 4 new different quadrants here, and obviously they're going to be for different quarters of the year. And so one of them is going to be for like New Year and springtime. Quarter 2 is going to be summertime. Quarter 3 is going to be like autumn and Halloween time. And then of course, quarter number 4 is like the holidays and of course the New Year again. And this way I can categorize every quarter with a different theme around a collection shop drop if I wanted to. And yeah, it just kind of sets the mood for that quarter as well. Of course, I then had to like color code everything to make it look really nice and rainbowy and sort of suit my shop colors as well. And then I added one of those little task tick off boxes to each one, as well as adding some mood boards down onto every quarter as well. And I'll get back into the mood boards in a bit, because first I want to add in the actual tasks and like goals for each quarter. So this is where I can get actually a lot more specific with my goals into each quarter. I can actually name specific collections that I want to either work on or drop in that specific quarter, things that I want to get done in that quarter that I've been wanting to do for a while, and I know when I would want them to be done by. And this will also hold me really accountable in terms of keeping with my schedule, because if I don't, for example, start working on my summer collection in quarter 1, I know that I'm going to get really tight for time in quarter 2 when I actually want to drop that collection. Placing the goals of when I want to start working on something is going to keep me less stressed when it comes to like the deadline area of when I want that stuff to come out. So as you can see, I've just filled out all of these quarter goals here. The next step is to add mood boards. I love a mood board. I'm a Pinterest girly through and through. You guys know this. So I'm actually creating a mood board for the different collections and different projects as well that I'm going to be working on this year, so that I can just, you know, easily click on them here and know exactly what the vibe is and what the plan is. And then I just went in and decorated the board a little bit with my logo and some little doodles and stuff like that. As you can see, I actually did a lot of these on my iPad, because you can actually like use the Milanote app on your iPad and draw directly onto your boards, which is, again, so I can actually show you a little bit of my like mood boards now, which I've like now curated. So, you know, I've set up this different layout for a lot of my mood boards here. So I've collected a lot of like inspiration and things that I want to do similar to this and in this sort of vibe, but with my style and my kind of products and stuff. And obviously, you know, getting some color inspirations for color palettes, not just for the products, but also for like marketing stuff. And then of course, a little table with a lot of tick boxes and things for when I actually start working on the collection to help me stay organized throughout the entire project until the collection goes live. I've done some of these little tables before, but this way they're all sort of condensed in their own little mood boards. Yeah, this is another example of one that I'm working on for a different collection that I want to do later on in the year. As you can see, I start off usually with just a lot of reference pictures, and then I start, you know, adding in my own sketches and my own ideas onto the board. But the starting point is usually going through Pinterest and kind of getting a feel for the vibe. And all my other boards look quite similar to that, but overall, this is the board that I'm going to be referencing throughout the year and making sure that I keep tabs on my projects, my productivity, and hopefully this will keep me on track for things and not have to like rush towards the end of a project and trying to rush towards like a posting date and things like that. I honestly already feel really motivated by just making this board. It's really strange. I was feeling very meh about the new year and feeling very like scared because I didn't have a concrete plan of what I wanted to do. And so sitting down for like a few hours and getting this sorted, yeah, it was just so helpful, and I feel so much more motivated. I have a lot of energy now to get started with a lot of these projects. So yeah, I highly recommend it. Even if you don't have a small business or anything like that, I really recommend doing something like this, even if it's like for your own like personal life. It just kind of, you know, puts that intent forward, which makes it more likely for you to actually do those things. I think there's a study out there somewhere that says that like people who like make plans like for like this are more like likely to actually do those things. I might be making that up, but I'm pretty sure I've seen something like that. So I don't know, give it a try, see if you enjoy this kind of stuff. This is my plan for the year. I'm really excited for it. I've got a lot of really cool ideas coming, and I am already working on a lot of them, so stay tuned because I will be bringing you along. I really hope you enjoyed. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a lovely year ahead of you, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye-bye.